Hello. Today we're going to be talking about hunt groups inside of the My Voice Connect platform. To start with, we need to quickly identify the two main types of groups that you can find inside of the My Voice Connect system. And these are going to be hunt groups and work groups. So both of these groups do have shared logic, a shared function, which is that they allow for administrators to group together or link together multiple users or extensions such that these grouped extensions are able to have a shared virtual extension, which in turn can be linked into a DID line, which would then allow the group to receive calls from outside of the enterprise. Now, even though both work groups and hunt groups do have this sort of shared functionality, they differ insofar as the particular features and options and capabilities that each of them offer. In particular, hunt groups tend to be a little less complex and a little less feature rich, whereas work groups are basically the opposite. They're a little more complicated to set up, but they do provide some additional features and options that may be important depending on what the overall purpose of the group is supposed to be. So we're going to be focusing on hunt groups this week, and we'll take a look at those in particular in a little more detail. So, as I just mentioned, hunt groups are arguably a little more straightforward to set up, but that obviously comes with the limitation in terms of the different features and options that are available. As I described before, a hunt group basically allows you to group together different users or extensions into a shared group that you can then attach a specific DID number to and allow the group to receive calls from an external destination. I will also admit here as well that if a hunt group isn't attached to a DID, it is still going to be reachable internally. You would just have to dial the group's shared extension number or pilot number. Now, one other very important design note here is that a hunt group in particular is going to be a particular feature that is managed by the various Mitel voice switches. This is, of course, in contrast to a work group, which is a server attached function. This ends up meaning that if you want your users or your members to be a part of a hunt group, all of them need to have access to the same switch because each switch manages its hunt groups separately from one another. Now, while talking about sort of the limitations that hunt groups have, the, one of the most obvious is simply the size of a hunt group. The absolute maximum size any given hunt group can be is about 24 members. You also will see common setups where a single hunt group can only have 12 or 8 members. It's really important to understand that this member limitation is on a per switch basis. So each hunt group on a given switch can have a maximum of 24 members. The other major limitation when you're using a hunt group is that there is no shared voicemail available to the group. So what that means is that if you do want voicemail services for a hunt group, you are likely going to be in a position where you have to direct the voicemail to a specific user's personal voicemail or simply create call forwarding and other destinations in the call forwarding plan to direct calls away from the hunt group if a call is missed. There is no included voicemail with a hunt group in particular. When it comes to actually creating and building up a hunt group, it's going to be very similar and very familiar configuration for anyone who has ever set up a user or an extension in the My Voice Connect director. You're going to have a lot of the same very basic details, the name, the extension number, and this is also where we can see how we can connect this particular hunt group to a particular DID if that service is needed as well. After the basic details that we just went over are put in place, the next thing to take a look at when it comes to hunt groups is how you want the hunt group to basically disperse or distribute calls that it receives. And this is going to be controlled primarily through what's called the distribution pattern. You can, again, think of this kind of like a routing algorithm. With hunt groups, we've only got two choices. It's either top down or simultaneous. I think we all sort of understand that simultaneous means call comes in, literally every member in the group will get a notification, an alert, their phone will begin ringing all at the same time. With top down, it's arguably a little more straightforward. And the way that having top down distribution works is whoever the first member of your hunt group is, they will be tried first. If they are either unavailable or they do not answer, the hunt group will simply move on to the second person that was added as a member to the group. And this process will repeat until either an agent is found and answers, or the no answer number of rings is reached. This does allow us to quickly touch on a very, very, very important set of configuration. If you are using top down, you need to be very, very clear on the number of rings per member and the no answer number of rings. With the current setup that we have using the default values, each time a call comes into the hunt group, if you are using top down, it will ring the first agent 3 times or the first member 3 times. It will then ring the second agent 1 time, and then the call will be sent to whatever is described as the no answer destination. The reason for that is the no answer number of rings is set to 4. If this particular group has 3, 4, 5 members, you need to ensure that the no answer number of rings is high enough to allow all of those members to actually get a chance at receiving the call. If it's the no answer number of ring value is set too low, some of your members will never see a call because the no answer number of rings will be triggered before they can actually get to or they'll even receive that call to come in. When it comes to some of the other options in here, skip member if already in call, that would be a very important thing to set because otherwise what could potentially happen is if you're using top down, if that first agent is on a call with a customer and you don't have skip if already on an active call set, the first 3 rings will go to that first agent, but because they're already on an active call, the call is never going to be answered. So having skip member if already in call is really important to ensure that you are not stealing away some of your rings to a member who is already on an active call, a previous active call. The other thing that I will mention here as well is the concept of a call stack. So a call stack will kind of allow a queue-like behavior with a incoming call, except that it's not going to behave or the experience is not going to be the same. If a call stack is set up or enabled for a hunt group, if all the members in that hunt group are not available, calls will absolutely start kind of queuing up or stacking up so that the next available agent can pick up whichever call is first in the stack. However, this does introduce a bit of a experience difference because the callers are not going to hear anything like music on hold. They're not going to hear announcements. They're just going to hear the call ringing constantly, which in and of itself could cause experience troubles because the callers are going to think that they're waiting to go to an agent when in fact they're just waiting in a call stack. So whatever your call stack depth is set to, just understand that your callers that are in that stack are not going to be hearing music on hold or announcements or anything like that. They're just going to be hearing ringing. So when a call comes into the hunt group, and let's say that the call stack is full, the call stack full call forward destination is then used to redirect the call to some other location if the stack is full. Similarly, if there is no answer on or from any or all members of the hunt group, that call forwarding destination would be used as well. Once you have your hunt group configured and designed the way that you want it, basically the last thing that you can do or that you need to do is you will add members to the hunt group. In our particular case here, we have two examples. We have our auto attendant and just a default extension. You can select one or both of those and simply use the arrow keys in the middle of the image to move them from the left-hand table to the right. Once they're in the right-hand table and the hunt group is saved, you are basically able to start making test calls and making sure the hunt group is functioning the way that you want. So in summary, there are two primary types of call control groups in the My Voice Connect system. These are hunt groups and work groups. Both of these allow you to group together, to link together extensions and users in your system such that these grouped users and extensions can have a shared virtual extension that in turn can be connected into a DID number. Hunt groups themselves are less complex to set up. However, they are more limited in terms of the features that they offer. I'd like to thank everybody for watching our video. If you haven't seen any of our other videos on our YouTube channel, go ahead and check some of those out. And we'll see you in the next one.